circumstances. For example, they're having a baby, or they're going back to school, or, it's a positive situation. I think it is entirely appropriate for a hygienist to contact the patients and let them know that she's not, or he's not going to be there when they come in. And I'll tell you, this saves the front desk people a lot of explanation, having to tell over and over again that so-and-so's not here any longer, she's gone back to school, or she's had a baby, or whatever. I remember I worked in a practice for a long time, and I had a loyal following of patients. In fact, some of those patients had followed me from other practice there when I came there. And when I left that job to take a teaching job, I went to the doctor and I said, I really would like to contact the people who are already on the schedule. They're expecting to see me. And what do you think about that if I send them a letter and thank them for being my patient and introduce the girl who's going to take my job? Well, he was all for that. He said, I think that's a wonderful idea. In fact, the office agreed to pay the postage. And so it was a win-win-win for everybody. But in other circumstances, Mark, it is entirely inappropriate for hygienists to contact patients when they leave, such as if a hygienist leaves under very negative terms and wishes to contact people to let them know she's going to relocate to another office, that is illegal. I know of a situation out in California where a hygienist did just that, and she got in big legal trouble. The practice had been sold in that situation, and the doctor who bought the practice, when he came in, the first thing he did was to say to this hygienist, who had been there 17 years, by the way, he said, by the way, you're making too much money, so we're going to cut your pay. Well, you can imagine how that went over, and she became very unhappy, and she decided right then she was going to find another job. So she did. She found another job, and then she went to the office computer and she ran off a copy of the database of patients, people that she felt like were her patients, and she sent them a little postal card in the mail that says, I'm no longer going to be working here as of such and such a date. Please call me if you have any questions. Well, the word got back to the doctor. A patient came in with a card and said, your hygienist sent me this card. Well, you can imagine the doctor was livid over that, and he sued her. He had every right to sue her. So as it came down in that case, the hygienist wound up countersuing the doctor for there is a principle employers have to abide by. It's called good faith and fair dealing. Well, she countersued him that he didn't deal with her in good faith and fairly. And so, as it turned out, she had to pay a fine, and he had to drop his charges against her. And she got to keep her license, thank goodness. But you see, these kinds of things can be real sticky. So I think a hygienist should only contact patients when the doctor says, yeah, it's a good thing to do, and you have my blessing to do that. The patients belong to the practice. They belong to the owner of the practice. So hygienists should not be contacting patients unless the doctor says yes, it would be a good thing.
But if the doctor feels like or can see that a patient don't need to be upset about an amicable parting of the ways,
yes,
they should consider doing something like that. Where they
well, certainly. I have a special hairdresser that I like, and I don't want to see another hairdresser. And so if Denise is going to be gone, then I want to know about it. And a lot of patients feel that way about their hygienist. They've been used to seeing one particular hygienist for a long time, and they would be very upset if they came in and nobody told them that their particular hygienist was not going to be there anymore. So it's a matter of common courtesy, I believe, to let patients know that their hygienist that they've been used to seeing is not going to be there. Now, in negative situations, I still think it is appropriate to let patients know as they're called to confirm their appointment, or they're called before they're taken back to say that Lisa is no longer with us today. You're going to be seeing Jackie. She's a wonderful hygienist, and she will take very good care of you. That's just a matter of communication, and I think that's a good thing as well. But as far as the hygienist contacting patients, it must be with the owner's blessing.
Okay. Well, this column appears in the February issue of RDH and should be out in a few weeks. And part of you referred to your favorite hairdresser, that you don't want anyone but Denise touching your hair, and that if Denise is sick, you wait till she gets to feeling better. You said that the only way I'll change hairdressers is if Denise retires or dies. So I presume
That's
Denise
right.
I presume Denise is still in good health now.
Oh, yes, Denise is doing just fine.
Well, Dianne, I want to thank you very much for your time this afternoon, and I think we all enjoy reading your column when it comes out.
Oh, thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Writing for RDH Magazine is a labor of love for me, and I do love dental hygienists, and I get some mighty interesting situations sent to me sometime, but I appreciate this opportunity to do this interview today.
Okay, well, thank you.